I've never heard that
Well,
before.
good evening, Chris Cap. Welcome back, adventurers. To do a quick recap of our last session, the battle for Port Daro was won. The party licked their wounds. Mira held a ceremony for the departed Boydalon under the watchful eye of Bark. The forces of Malcolm Jack scattered to the wind, and the party was brought in and hoisted on the shoulders of the townsfolk as heroes. Due to some quick thinking by Moira and Rizwin, Jason, now known by his true name of Unvik, was saved and did not die that day. And a feast ensued. During the feast, we had some interesting interactions, some fun, party elements. Erdan decided that he was going to hustle Alger, the hustler. He is a straight up snake oil salesman. And the party came across the secrets of Fleur's item delved deeper when Tup Tup asked to touch the item and Fleur agreed. At which point he heard a voice in his head that terrified him. He ran away, and the party took turns touching the item and trying to figure out what language it was in until Erdan bravely took grasp of the item and heard in his head in Draconic a rather aggressive message claiming that Fleur was the guardian of the artifact and that the item should be returned to him. So the party drank off the rest of the night. The next morning, everyone gathered together and readied for their travel. Over 3 days of travel, the party witnessed markers on the road, spiked goblin heads with yellow armbands tied flying like flags. A warning from the Empire of Bodos to the goblin hordes that have recently been attacking caravans along the road to knock that shit off. And then the party arrived to a little hamlet called Shoredown, the town of Unvik, where he runs his business from, where he paid you for honest labor. He thanked Moira for the time that they spent together and kind of hinted that she might like to visit him sometime. And then the party traveled on with Jameson and Delilah back to the capital. Where we left off, you had just crested a ridge, and from there, the landscape goes down a hill, and before you is Bodosia, the capital of Bodos, the grandest city in all the world, the former center of all civilization. A grand three-tiered city, the top tier being like the Cloud District, where the wealthy merchants and businessmen and nobles and the royal family themselves live in the White Palace, as well as the Librorum, the Arcanum, the Librorum Arcanum, the secret ancient library of the old empire, back when the world had much more magic to it. A floating golden sphere hovering slightly above a building. And the walls of each particular tier lining up, making the city itself almost look at a distance like a strange wedding cake. behind the city, you see the cliffs that line what is known as the captured sea, the uh, inland ocean that is technically a gigantic lake, saltwater lake. But the captured sea is the coastline behind the city. It's kind of like a rocky cliff sort of coastline. Um, and before you is a road that stretches to the city, rolling green hills. You could be there in probably about an hour. Uh, Anyone who wants to roll a perception check for me may do so.
Dice. Your girl.
I closed my eyes when I was looking around.
Fair enough. Oh, Rizwan is full on sleeping.
Oh wow, I am also not perceptive at all.
It's a 13, but what do I add to mine?
Whatever your perception bonus is,
Right, well,
it's going to be based on your wisdom, so it's going to be relatively high.
I want to say my wisdom is 6.
Your wisdom would not be that high, although your perception might be, because if you're proficient in it.
All right, well, if this happens, yeah, so the app is updating on these.
Yeah, absolutely. But in any case, you, I know, rolled high enough to notice. Bark, you noticed this as well. As you guys are cresting the hill and looking down, you notice that off a ways from the main road itself, back along where the tree line is a little purple hut that you all have seen before. It seems nestled right along the tree line. So, like, if you wanted to make a quick stop and run over and see Madame Yuri, you could do so. The rest of you are too busy looking at the city itself to notice this because it's off the road a bit.
Do we still have our Bluetooths, and do they work after the Jax gang has been eliminated?
Yeah, you all have your Bluetooths. You picked up, you had the ones that you originally had. You picked up an additional one from Jax himself. Though that was the total amount of Bluetooths that there were. What you gather is that, and you saw this in the original note, that when Jax sent out a particular like raiding party, he would have them all in contact via their Bluetooth, and then he himself would keep the extra one. But because they all went missing when you guys ran into the one group and they had their tussle with the goblins, he never managed to get his Bluetooth back. He was pretty pissed about that, but y'all don't know that.
He died.
Yeah, doesn't really matter now.
I think I would call out, oh look, Madame Yuri's creepy hut.
Oh, you all notice Madame Yuri's creepy hut. By the way, it is on the ground. It is not up on its chicken legs.
Good to know.
I wonder if it lays an egg when it stands up.
Shall we go and see what sort of things Madame
Definitely.
Yuri is dealing
I need to
in?
go shopping.
Okay.
Yes, here, let's go shopping.
Jameson pipes up and looks over and he goes, y'all have had a run-in with Madame Yuri.
Yes, we have. Have
Hey.
you?
Oh yeah, I mean I'm a merchant. I travel all over the place. I've had some, dealings with her in the past. I'm not quite sure what she is or where she came from. I'm not even convinced she's of this world, to be honest. But I mean, I've always traded fair with her. I don't always stop when I see her, but I don't always see her. She gets around. If y'all want to stop, I mean, that's fine with me. I'll probably just stay in the cart with Delilah. She's never met Madame Yuri, and just between you and me, that woman scares the fuck out of me. And Delilah's had a rough go of it the past few days, so I think I'll keep her in the cart.
That's fair.
So, shall I lead the wagon that way?
Please.
All right.
Sure.
So he leads the wagon off the road and through the field over to Madame Yuri's hut. Once again, tiny little purple hut, looks ancient. Thatched roof, the little welcome mat, and the sign that says, Madame Yuri's. And the sign that said, please knock, was the welcome mat. So I imagine you guys knock on the door.
Yes.
And the door opens, and once again, despite the hut being tiny, not much bigger than an outhouse from the outside, looking in, it opens up into an entire room with what appears to be, a door behind her to a back room, and a desk in front of her, shelves with various glowing potions and books and cobwebs and dust, and there's just like a full-on glowing axe that's just like kind of sitting on a shelf, like a hatchet, just kind of sitting there. It's just all sorts of random junk, and there seems to be different stuff than the last time y'all were in here. Some of it looks the same, some of it looks different. And as you enter, Madame Yuri says, I remember you, and you, and you. What brings you to Madame Yuri's today? Come.
You were here?
Yes, this is where you are, and where Madame Yuri is.
We came back for that lovely smile.
Flattery will get you everywhere, Erdan-Kyrian.
I'm gonna step outside. It's lovely
Yeah.
seeing you again.
Yeah, Nira's gonna hang out by the door with him because she knows Madame Yuri knows some shit, so she's not about to get too close too fast. Nah, we've dealt with Madame Yuri.
Oh, there is no reason to be afraid of Madame Yuri.
Of reality shaping magics.
What? My home? My store?
Everything that you can do is quite foreign and scary to me.
Yes. But I suppose it is in your nature to seek for things, is it not, Erdan-Kyrian?
It's about taking calculated risk.
Yes. If only everyone would take calculated risks instead of bold ones.
There's a time and a place for everything, but I agree for the most part, and I bid you a good day.
Yes.
Our
Well,
paths will cross again, most likely.
fare to thee well. Sooner than you may think.
Oh,
Anyone else? Do we have something we want to trade? Something to be bought? Something to be borrowed?
I would like to look around at the items available in the store.
Sure.
I don't know if you could call anything out that might be of interest to Bark.
Yeah, as you walk around, like I said, there's a shelf that has various potions on it. Some of them are clearly labeled as poisons. Some of them are labeled as like potions of strength, potions of flight, potions of true sight, potions, like all sorts of different things. There is a shelf of books that has a pretty eclectic mix of things. Your eye catches on a book of demon lore, that might speak to Bark personally. There's the hatchet. Like I said, there's just like a random glowing hatchet that it's just called Lightbringer. Doesn't exactly say what it does, but it's there. As you are walking around, Madame Yuri kind of shuffles her feet, and she looks around and she goes, Madame Yuri has a request. If anyone is keen to be owed a favor, would anyone care to hear Madame Yuri's request?
Does hearing the request in Det one to oblige thy request?
No. If you do a thing, then I will do a thing for you.
I will hear your request.
Yeah, we'll hear it.
I am somewhat of a collector of things. Not just secrets, not just memories and dreams, but things. And there is one thing that would complete a particular collection of mine that I so desperately want. I cannot have it, but perhaps someone could get it for me. I was specifically going to ask Erdan Quirion, but he has stepped out.
Hold on. I'll go out and grab Erdan and say, come here, you're going to want to hear this.
Oh, what is it? Hello again with that lovely smile. Oh, hi. Hello.
Welcome.
What?
I have a request, a favor, a task for which one of your particular nimbleness may be well suited. For there is a thing that Madame Yuri wants that Madame Yuri cannot have. And she glances around for a moment. She almost looks sheepish for a second, but then her eyes kind of like grow a bit wider, and she glances up and she goes, a book that is in the library, a book that I cannot find anywhere else, a book that I desperately wish to read. And she has the posture of a cat that is watching a mouse, right? It is like her pupils dilate at the thought of this. She says, the book is called The Paladin's Sword. Anyone can make a history check on that. Moira, you actually can make that particular history check with advantage.
I just need y'all to see this cat hunting a fly. It's everything right now.
Huh, I rolled a 23.
What am I rolling? History?
A history check. For you, I'm giving advantage.
A 19.
Okay.
I rolled twice, for disadvantage, seeing as I can't remember my past.
That is super duper fair.
I rolled a 4 both times, though. So, what can I say?
Okay. So we have a 19. Did anyone get even higher than that?
Erdan got a 23.
23. Okay. Moira, You would know about this just, well, Erdan, you would know about this because it's something that's just spoken of in scholarly circles. Moira, you would know about this more because of your particular profession. The Paladin's Sword is an erotica novel.
Oh god.
Yeah. It is an erotica novel. It is as steamy as it is poorly written. The thing about it is that it is a forbidden text, and it is very, very blasphemous in Relan, the country in which the story takes place, and in the place where the book was written. You see, the story itself follows a paladin who is tasked with protecting a queen. And the queen turns out to be a witch, and he has to decide whether he's going to smite her. But they end up banging. And the fact that Raylan is a very conservative country when it comes to shit like that. Not so much like, oh, sex is evil, but the fact that the queen would be married to the king. Two, that the country of Raylan believes that all magic that is not divine magic is straight up demons. So the idea that the queen could be a witch is blasphemous. And the idea that a paladin would forego his oath in order to slate his lust is also pretty fucking blasphemous. So that particular book, almost all the copies of it have been burned. However, because the Librorum Arcanum is the greatest book depository in the entire world, there's going to be at least one copy of it in there. And Madame Yuri wants to read that smut. If you were to procure the Paladin's Sword for me, I would be in your debt. And a debt with Madame Yuri is a good one to have. If not, it is fine. I shall wait here for some time. Seek me out if you procure this book.
Can I do an insight check possibly just to see what her intentions are, or do I have to probe further?
No, I mean, you could roll an insight check if you want.
Yeah.
I mean, the way she's talking, she wants you to probe her.
Ew.
I only got a 12.
That's right. I mean, she's a pretty, despite the fact that she's so fucking over the top, she's actually pretty inscrutable just because her whole thing is kind of clouded in mystery. But you get the general sense that, like, she is a collector, and maybe she has, back in her study somewhere, has a collection of erotica novels, and the fact that this particular book is super rare means she wants it all the more. You know, maybe it's the type of thing that she has a buyer lined up for and she's going to trade it off to somebody else. But I mean, just given her posture, she looks real horned up for it.
Well, I think this is as noble of quest as any. And to free a book from the shackles of some prudish people who don't appreciate the literature, I think is probably right up my alley.
Okay, above the table real quick. Thanks to the librarian.
You're welcome.
Moving on. This prudish literature, unappreciative book shackler.
More or less speaking about the country.
Ian, did you forget for a second that Riley is a bona fide librarian?
I did not forget.
He wasn't.
We're just messing with you. Anyway, okay. Excellent. This is wonderful. In the meantime, is there any business you wish to do?
So Gander, our other cleric friend, is drunk and asleep in the wagon, but she was looking for a little clay ziggurat. Do you have one of those around?
Hang on. I think that was actually something that Greg made for her.
Yeah, I was,
She wanted it for a spell, and it has to be clay. She was, I think, a little too tipsy last time to read fine print. Yeah.
Okay. She goes, clay cigarette. Yes. And she turns around and walks into whatever that back room is. And she comes out and just has like a selection of them of all different colors and shapes and sizes. And she goes, this is a pittance. I will give it to you for a gold.
I'll take 2.
Very well. Clink, clink.
Great.
Madam Yuri has use for gold as well.
Thank you so much.
Anything else? Perhaps anything less tangible? Nira, make a perception check for me. That's cocked. That's also cocked.
11 plus, what do I add to perception?
Whatever it says. So you're going to go to your perception modifier, which will be under skills. Perception. Oh,
So
you do have a
17.
+6 to perception. Okay. You notice as you are just kind of perusing the bookshelves, a particular book that Moira noticed the last time she was here, but you did not. It is that book that is titled The Curse of the White Dragon. It stands out to you. Anybody else?
you wouldn't have to know what this is. What?
Go ahead, Fleur.
What is this?
Do you know what this is?
This is a very curious thing. Might I see it?
What do you guys think? I mean, everybody else touched it and got scared.
I think it's going to holler at her. She could probably handle it.
Madam Yuri does not fear much.
You gonna be afraid of Madam Yuri? All right, as long as I get it back.
Very well.
Okay.
She takes it, and you see her eyes go wide for a second, and she kind of shudders. She kind of shudders, but then she like shakes it off, and she closes her eyes, and you can tell that she's listening. And then she grins, and she sets it down, and she looks up at you, and she goes, do you mean to part with this, or do you mean to ask for its secrets?
I just wanted to know what it was.
This is something that Madam Yuri could share with you, but the cost would be rather high. It is quite a secret.
I don't have any secrets.
Does anyone have a secret they wish to share?
I guess I'll have to learn something that's a secret, and then I'll tell you.
Madam Yuri, I'm willing to give a secret.
Share with me this secret.
How do we do this?
Well, you can either choose to just say it out loud, or you can send it to me in a private message.
Okay. I mean, it's not that big of a secret. We'll see if it works.
If you don't want Riley to see, I'll have her avert her gaze.
Okay. Yep. Avert your gaze. I think you know what I'm going to share.
I'll be a good guy, Greg, here, and I'll let you know whether or not whatever it is that you're sending me right now is sufficient. Because she may only reveal up to what she considers a fair trade. Again, if it's some kind of great revelation, well, maybe she'll tell you everything that she knows. I, however, have not received a message from you.
Well, that's interesting.
Where'd you send them?
I sent it in Facebook.
Oh.
Sorry. I was looking at the chat window on Zoom.
Could have done that.
No, that's it. Oh, look, I got a message from Steve Holsinger. Okay. If Bark were to share that particular piece of information, he would get a sliver of potential. So, I mean, if you want to share that with her, she'll let you know a little bit of what she knows about this thing.
Well, that's all I've got to give. I feel like, Fleur, do you think a sliver is worth knowing?
Nah, not a big deal. I haven't known a lot for a long time, so I think I can know a little less.
A sliver is more than nothing.
Yeah, we got a quest and we're going to come back, so maybe we learned something else, and that might be worth more.
Very well.
I mean, maybe we steal half the library and see if that's
This one. I see why you are the one. Now, let me be clear about one thing before you leave. Not to sway your mind, but to clarify it. A secret is a thing. It is not just an idea. It is a thing. And a thing can be exchanged for an equivalent amount of good. Therefore, a big secret might be worth many little secrets. Just food for thought.
I do eat a lot.
I see that. So do I. And don't ask what I eat. She full on picks something out of her teeth that you're almost certain is a bone and flicks it off into the darkness.
Oh, ew.
Kind of out of character. Can I just double check what were we trading secrets for? Just information in general.
Specifically information about Fleur's item. I know you had to step away for a second. He let her hold it. She listened to the voice. She grinned, and then she offered, she asked, like, are you looking to part with this item, or do you want to just know more about it? Do you want to know its secrets? By the way, y'all don't even need an insight check for this. When she said, like, are you looking to part with this item, she said it with the kind of predatory gaze that she gave when she was talking about the book. It's very intriguing to her.
I think I have a secret.
So sorry, continue.
I think I have a secret that I don't want to share with everybody. Does that make things a little bit more interesting for you?
Well, a secret is a secret. However, well, I suppose fair is fair. I cannot control what you do outside of this room. But if you share the secret that I give you, then it is what it is. I like secrets. I like
Okay.
them very much.
So you'd be the only person that would have to know this. So I would have to just whisper it to you.
I am willing to listen.
Well, I'll just, I guess I've kept this a secret from everybody for long enough. I'll just say it that when we were in the dungeon with the masked figure, I think that was my sister. Pointed at me.
Ah,
So we went down to a dungeon to save a girl, and there were a bunch of goblins and wolves, and there was a masked figure that came out and pointed at me, and later I found a stone that has said something that only my big sister would know. And I haven't told anybody till now.
yes. This is a good secret. Hiding it from your friends.
They weren't my friends at the time.
This makes it all the better. All the better. Well, fair is fair. The item that your friend holds. Well, I shall give you a choice. I shall either tell you what it is, or I shall tell you where it comes from. This is the choice you must all make for that secret.
Fair enough. Do I have to make the decision, or can this be a group decision?
You may all decide. You shared your secret with everyone. I shall do the same.
Fair deal.
Let's
Well,
see.
everybody. Fleur, I feel like this should be up to you.
Well, I mean, if we know where it comes from, we could go there and figure out what it is.
She could just say a country, and if she says just like Bodos or Raylon, it's not like that's gonna help us. Even if she tells us a city, that's still not gonna really narrow it down a ton.
But also, if she just tells us what it is, we don't know what it is. It could be in a different language.
This is true, but we could also potentially discover its origins by knowing what it is.
That's true. And we are going to a library. Maybe we could look it up in the library, because if we know what it is, then maybe there's something in the library that tells us where it's from.
That's a pretty logical conclusion to come to. So I guess we're settling on what it is, correct?
Sounds good.
You wish to know what it is. She takes in a grin that is almost nightmarish. It is similar in form to the Cheshire Cat, or almost to the Grinch, when the smile, when he thinks up a lie and thought it up quick, where it's horrifyingly wide, and the eyes, the pupils become almost her entire eye. And she goes, "This is a phylactery."
What?
Can you spell that or say it louder?
This delightful thing is a phylactery.
Well, shit. Does Erdan need to roll for that?
Do you think Erdan would be familiar with what a phylactery is?
I think there's a high probability he would, but I don't think it's something he would know right off the bat. It wasn't his focus of study.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, you can roll for it. Basically, you revealed who that person was, right? Or at least who you think that person is. In doing so, you revealed who that is or what that is and where it came from. So she gave you the choice of either. In this case, you learned that the thing that your buddy Fleur has been wielding around is a phylactery, which Erdan, you would know, is the vessel that contains the essence of a very extremely powerful undead spirit known as a lich.
We got a damn portable lich in the wood.
Now,
Nobody's going to confirm that for me?
Yes.
the fun part. Does anybody wish to know the other part of this secret?
Oh.
Is there more to share?
Nira
This is
has
addictive.
re-entered
Oh, goddamn. I'm gonna go play some slots after this.
re-entered the hut and is regarding Madame Yuri suspiciously.
Yes? Nira? Avilstalain?
Madame Yuri, I would speak with you in private if you had some time.
I have nothing but time, child.
Thank you. Not to interrupt, I can wait.
We can mute ourselves if we need to.
Well, I know.
Anyone? The choice is yours.
I'm trying to think of a secret to share.
Oh, child. What secrets must you be questing for?
Hmm.
In truth, it feels that the majority of you have shared with one another most secrets. A well-born bond.
Mm.
Is that it? If so, Madame Yuri has much dusting to do.
Hang on. I have something I'll share. I just can't remember a detail and I need to go check it.
Very well.
Madam
want me to
Yuri, while we
Not
wait,
if we're waiting to learn the other half of this secret.
She's currently looking something up.
Okay, so yeah, if you want to mute us.
All right, I'm going to mute us for just a second while you guys talk.
I'm sorry, this is hard.
You need help.
No, it's fine. I just can't remember their names, which is really bad.
I had to look at my backstory.
Okay, I found their names. They're smiling way too much. It's scaring me.
wonder if even in mute, Madame Yuri sounds like Madame Yuri, or if she sounds like Ben. She's-
Please tell me this is a recording video.
Yep, it's being recorded.
For sure. This is being recorded.
I wasn't sure if it also recorded video or just audio.
Yeah, it should.
That must be
Yeah,
crazy
it
for when
does.
like when UUCV records the whole service. There's like 100 of us on.
Yeah, do they?
They record parts of it.
Right. I know that in the past they've only been able to like publish certain things because of copyright.
Yeah. Oh.
But if there were like hundreds of us, it would not record all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be impossible. Well, anything's possible, but not practical. The implications of Fleur's phylactery is quite interesting, especially based upon his backstory.
So a lich is just popping around in your pocket.
A draconic lich.
Yeah.
It's pretty metal. That's Dungeons and the Dragons put together. Oh, man.
Do you hear fireworks, Ian?
Let me go check really quickly.
What is that?
Yeah.
Next door neighbors and shotguns.
Better fucking not. We live in a trailer home.
I know.
Cardboard walls. This is just like loud popping and banging.
I mean, it could be a backfiring lawnmower too, right?
One of the 8 that's out there.
Yeah.
The lawnmower they're using right now is the electric one they bought off of this. So if it's backfiring, there's bigger issues. What was it? What was it? I don't know. Is she in the driver's seat? No. Oh, thank fuck.
Oh my god.
Fucking weird.
Nope.
What smell?
The wine or
Well, I got this weird little like cowlick sticking out.
And after a short whispering conversation, yeah, after a short whispering conversation. After a short whispering conversation with Mira, Madame Yuri like gives kind of a shrug and then turns back to everyone and it's like, so, what was it that you wanted to tell me?
I know the last time I was here, I told you I'd killed a lot of people.
Yes. Haven't we all?
It was a first for me. A couple of them made it, and their names are Marie and Theo, and they're the ones that I'm sending money back to in my hometown because their medical bills are pretty bad, and they don't know it's me.
Such a terrible shame, child. This is a very sad secret. I can give you one part of a two-part answer with this secret. Because the secret is touching of the heart, but it is not nearly as close to as big a secret as I know. Moira Libre, let me tell you. The place for which this item came was never held by the Empire. It existed beyond the boundaries of Bodos, even at its greatest strength. Wild lands beyond.
Mm.
Which, you guys don't even need a history check for this, except for Fleur would, because he doesn't know shit. General knowledge says the named countries, with the exception of Grokaldai, which is kind of just Orc country. So Bodos, Raylan, Hinslin, Ustengard, and Andalia were all originally part of the Bedosian Empire. The Eastern Expanse, Grokaldai, and Fogo is also part of that. The Eastern Expanse, Grokaldai, and the Shard were never able to be breached by the Bedosian colonial forces because of, again, up in the Shard, it's just frozen tundra and it's full of like frost trolls and shit. Out in the Eastern Expanse, that's hell giant country, and then to the south you have just orcish tribes that are not too keen on outsiders. So what she's basically told you is it's not from mainland Bedosian Empire territory. I could be a bit more specific, but doing so would be much too great a secret. Does this conclude our business?
Well,
Yeah, I think we're more confused now than when we came in, so probably.
I have one request. I don't know if I have anything worth trading for it, but just to see if you have it. Do you happen to have anything on controlling powers that just manifested from nowhere, or why these powers would have manifested, or?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I believe that I do. 1 second. And she turns and walks away. And she comes back with a series of tomes. One of which is straight up one of the Jeff's Guide to Everything series. It's volume 12, which has stuff about sorcery in general, as well as specifically like bloodlines and how a sorcerer might be formed, and theories about it, because no one's too clear about where sorcerers come from or why they happen. But it theorizes about it, and it's kind of a compilation of many of those theories. Another book is specifically about the nature of magic and whether it's just called Mysteries of the Arcane and the Divine. And it's theories as to whether or not there's such a thing as arcane and divine magic, or if it is just magic and people tap into it in different ways, or if it is separate. The final tome that she puts before you is specifically, it's weird. It is a book about like trapping spirits that you can like, okay. It's called The Interrogator's Guide to Extraplanar Deities, or Extraplanar Deities and Beings. And it is specifically a book about trapping a being or a deity from another plane and being able to chat with them. Because a lot of times people have a hard time reaching out to their god or devil or whatever. And you think that maybe that book would be able to give you some answers because you might be able to literally ask a higher authority. Just these books are for sale. For Jeff's Guide to Everything, Volume 12, I would part with it for 50 gold. For Mysteries of the Arcane and Divine Magics, I would part with for 75 gold. And for the last tome, The Interrogator's Guide to Extraplanar Deities and Beings, this one I would part with for 125 gold. Or if you have something with which to trade, we could make a deal.
Which one are you thinking, Moira?
I'm not sure.
I am quite interested by the extraplanar deities. I'll throw in 25 for that.
Well, we're coming back here after the library heist. So let me think on it. And when I come back, I think I will try to decide which book I'm going to get.
Patty, what? Does that conclude our business for today?
I really need to work on an impression of Madame Yuri.
All right, does anybody have anything? Oh, they're still, I didn't realize they're talking.
I was gonna say, I can throw in like 25 gold for you because you shared a secret for a secret of my thingamajig.
Aww.
My
I'm
phylactery.
I'll have to think about it. I want to find out where this stuff is coming, but that's a lot of gold.
Yeah, I think the book we're looking for, that might be a whole quest.
Well, we could pick up some more work in town. I'd have a little extra coin to feel safer than parting with over half of what I have in my bag.
This is to help her get
125 was the most expensive one about deities.
Yeah.
I gave away most of my gold.
Yeah. Well, you're offered 50 between Erdan and Fleur, particularly if you go with the deities book.
Yeah, and 75 I think I could manage. Fuck it. Let's do it live.
I wanna get, Tangled with the God or something like that. That sounds awesome. Probably gonna die, but it's cool, whatever. I'll
I think
reroll.
that one sounds most promising. Like, I don't want theories. I want studied knowledge.
Answers.
Come here, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Oh, okay.
Kirk doing Kirk things.
He wants my cereal bowl. Don't go. Oh, you fucker.
Say what? Watch my woods lich name like John.
This is
Feel
David,
like-
the Dragon Lich.
Yeah.
No, its name is most likely going to be Ben.
They're frozen. They're frozen.
Oh, they are. It looks like a Renaissance painting.
Yeah, let's all just pose.
Oh, they're back.
Is there any other business that needs done?
No, yeah, we're not frozen.
I know you're looking at this particular tome. Do you want this now? That was good. No. Okay. Sure. You're okay. So
I believe our business is concluded.
very well. So
More
it happened. Is there anything else you guys want to do while you're here? Again, I cannot stress this enough. Madame Yuri is a person who is open to trade for not just things that are tangible, but also for things that are intangible. You just have to make her an offer. If you guys are like, fuck, I don't have a secret that I can tell you, but I'm willing to offer up a language that I know, or a proficiency that I have, or an ability score, whatever. Like, depending on how valuable that is to your character and how valuable it is to the world in which this game takes place, she's going to be like, shit, that's worth a lot. Yeah, this is what I can offer you in exchange. Those things are up to you. But if you guys are like, no, we'll figure it out in our own time, that's totally fine too. I am setting up a place here where you guys have a choice that you can make.
Ow. I'm giving up my big shit. I don't know. I don't really feel comfortable partying with anything else.
Very well.
I think we're gonna buy the deities book.
Ah, yes. Now?
Yeah.
Very well.
Erdan and Fleur offered to pay 25 gold for it, so I will put 75 gold in, and that is our 125.
Splendid. Yes, she slides the tome across the table to you and takes your gold.
So it's going to be like Pokemon with D&D deities right now. You just need to have different ways to capture them.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit more involved than that, for sure.
Just walk out into the grass.
And then, like, if you take time with the book, I'll further explain exactly what the mechanics of that are and what that means and the percentage chance of it working depending on the materials you gather, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. As of right now, you just have a book. It is it's not a particularly large tome, but it is very interesting looking. It has a cover that is hard and looks like it's made of some sort of wood. It's painted a somewhat dingy-ish, like, green color, and on the cover there's the title of the book as well as a picture that has just like the outline of some sort of being that's kind of radiating light inside of a cage. And that is the, what do they call it? The Investigator's Guide to Extraplanar Deities and Beings.
Okay.
Does that conclude your business with Madame Yuri today?
Madam Yuri, I have an offer.
Yes.
Would you accept my trophy of ogre teeth for the demon lore book?
Ah. An ogre you have slain for secrets about demon lore. If you do this, as well as 15 gold, it is yours.
Deal.
Very well. She slides the tome over to you. This particular tome has, it is a heavy book. It seems like it's bound in iron, like black iron. And on the front of it is just the symbol of a red flaming, almost Sauron-esque eyeball. Yeah, and it is it's a book on demon lore.
Thank you, Madam Yuri.
Absolutely. Anyone else?
You said you had more information to reveal.
I revealed that this is a phylactery and that it does not come from any of the lands of the old empire. If there is more that you want to know, I require more payment. This is fair. If you wish to know specifically where, if you wish to know the name of the being.
We figured that out. It's John.
How have you broken my ancient arcana? How have you learned of John?
Well, we didn't know now, and then you just kind of confirmed it for us.
Madam Yuri's got jokes. Yes, if you wish to know the name, if you wish to know the place, if you wish to know the time, if you wish to know the intention, this might be outside of Madame Yuri's purview, but I can tell you what I guess.
That thing could be a ticking time bomb for a lich to come back. That houses the spirit of a lich. But knowing us, we're probably just going to roll the dice with it, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, so far, he's been pretty helpful to me.
Yes, to you for right now, because he's probably using you. But, probably using all of us now. Probably in our heads. Oh, gosh.
Mine, I didn't listen to that thing. So, do we want to do like a little team huddle? Can we pop outside and have a little chit chat, or are you gonna scoot out of here?
Oh no, Madame Yuri shall be here for some time. I wish to wait for the paladin's sword.
All right. Oh, okay.
She's way too horny for this book.
Yo, by the way, the title of this book is exactly what you think it is.
Can we do a team huddle outside real quick?
Yeah, I think we're done inside.
Yeah.
Okay. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
See you later.
You wanna leave the room there, Sunshine?
Oh, you want me to full on leave the room?
I mean, you're Madame Yuri. Get out of here. You don't need to know what we talk about real quick.
Shit. This has got to be the first time it's been reversed on. Bye.
Yeah.
Should I go out and smoke?
Oh, don't do that without me.
Well, I mean, we have them. It's going to be a couple minutes.
Not that long.
Okay. I'm going to be able to hear you guys. I'm going to.
All right, well, okay. How will I tell you to come back? All right, he's out, and part of that was really just that I know it's gonna drive him batshit. So sorry for dragging you all into that, but like I saw the opportunity and I took it. He's asked me before if like we have a group chat outside of him because apparently that's like a thing D&D groups do. So like anyway, but in all seriousness, how badly do we want to know about Fleur's potential lich? Like, how big of an issue is this? Do we need to like figure out this information fucking stat?
Well, out of character. Liches are tough as hell.
Yeah. The phylactery kind of nurtures it, and it's like a Horcrux. It can come back from the phylactery. So that's underneath a number of days or years. So when Ben mentions time, that's probably something to be considered, and probably has something to do with Fleur's backstory, but I don't know.
I don't know it either.
Which is great.
Well, I guess here's the other question, Fleur. If we find out that this is dangerous, if we find out that your guide and buddy and friend is potentially going to kill us all in the very near future, are you going to be okay if we need to do some shit to get it gone, or are you going to have to?
Reality is, or Nira, is that if the lich does come back, it's probably going to do so in Fleur's body.
That would be my guess.
Already the lich.
Do something. We may have to do it to Fleur.
Well, what if we go to the library and then come back, and if we don't find anything out at the library, then we'll try to figure out the rest of the secret when we get back. Because here's the thing.
You were saying we might have to kill you, my dude.
But I'll be like a super up lich raging dude.
Yeah, and to be fair, we'll probably try to destroy the phylactery before we try to kill you. But
Yeah.
you know, it could. Okay, maybe not. Or Dad's like, yeah.
I mean,
Erdan don't give a fuck.
Erdan would do whatever to protect himself.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like if we can still handle this thing right now while it's in the phylactery and prevent potentially having to kill fucking Fleur, like I want to know that.
We have a finite amount of resources just based upon the number of secrets that we all have. We'd have to dig pretty deep for a secret.
Or give up something that's of pretty good value.
Yeah.
Which would be, like Tup or
like my.
You talking about fucking goblin trafficking, motherfucker?
I know
You would be the one to tell Chris that we gave up fucking Tup.
We can't do that, and we can't give up the mask.
I mean,
like giving up your axe, which gives you like a bonus. Or,
like my hammer or the bow of magic pantaloons.
Or like, oh man, the magic pantaloons don't give me anything, but I would give them up in a heartbeat. I'll offer them if needed. But I'm thinking more like I'd have to give up like my Colossus Slayer or something of that level to be able.
A language.
You think a language would be enough?
I think so.
I don't want to get rid of a language.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think we're
So we're gonna try and bargain with her to get the information so we can hopefully save Fleur from
I mean,
ourselves.
I think
Maybe
we should try the library first.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
let's
go
go
to
to the library. Maybe we can find something fucking baller to give her instead.
But if we can't, and we don't know how long we have, what?
I was talking with John here. We're gonna call him John.
All right, John.
John, I was talking with John. Okay, that book, it's not an erotica. It's a history book. It actually happened.
oh my gosh.
And the stuff that's in that book is what she needs to know to figure out what to do to prevent the world from falling apart because of this new empire.
So if we
John
did it, we hold a very, very strong angle on her.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
So maybe we just dangle the book in front of her face, be like, "Hey, we have it right here. You know, if you
And
want
she says
this."
like she
But
says
we're-
that if we do it,
She's
she
gonna
is
owe
going to
us a
owe us
favor. Yeah.
a
That is
favor.
true. That is true. We can just use the favor on that.
But how
Now-
far out are we from the library?
It's in the city that we're going to.
Yeah, we can be to the library in like an hour or two.
Well, we
Is-
probably have to have an audience with the king, ask him for access to the library, and then we could potentially have.
We're definitely gonna have to steal the book because, you know,
Yeah,
It's-
and that's going to require information gathering.
it's definitely
Right.
gonna be a library heist.
But we also
Yeah.
need to get into the library, and we're owed a great debt by the empire. Perhaps our request when we get there is for access to the knowledge of the arcanum, whatever it is.
You know, Erdan can probably get access to a library with his background feature, but that's probably a good thing to just have to say, maybe can we have special access to like the stuff that's off limits?
Yes. And then, Fleur, maybe you can ask your lich buddy John what this book looks like so we can make a replica and walk in with it.
That's a good idea.
Mm.
I'll have to.
Get back to us on that, yeah.
Yeah.
John knows a lot.
John does know a lot, and no lie, I make most of it up. By the way, just happens to be right most of the time.
So,
Like this whole wife thing. I'm telling you, Delilah's mom. We got to find her and talk to her too, because I'm telling you, there's some bad juju there.
I mean, I'm hearing a
And
lot
when I
of
brought it up
like,
back when John told me, I was making it up in my head. I was like, oh, she's bad juju, but I was right.
I'm hearing a lot of plans that have potential holes. Just like, what if they say like, no, fuck you, you can't come into the library. Like, I don't know. You know, we don't know what way he's gonna go. I don't know. I feel like if we have a time bomb on our hands and we have a secret that we could give, by that I mean I have a secret I could give, then I'd rather do the sure thing now. Because what if Madame Yuri's like, oh, that lich is gonna fucking pop into Fleur like in an hour, and we're like, oops, you know what I mean? And that's not to say, you know, if there is that slight chance, like, I don't wanna see all of us have to try and take on Fleur and kill him. And again, who wants to tell Chris we killed Fleur? Like,
Fleur would be okay.
we would bring Fleur back after we kill him, but we do have to kill him to get the lich out.
Yeah, you can bring me back.
I
We
mean,
got
Also, I was also gonna say, while we're in the library, we might be able to find a book of special healing blah de blah for the two people that were accidentally hurt by fireball.
Well, they're done now. Like, they're good now. They're fine from my fireball.
Oh,
But
so
you-
they're just paying their medical bills. Got it.
They're just
Oh, you mean my guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought you
your
meant,
guy.
I thought you meant,
the party members. Oh no.
No, I was
Good.
talking about the people you're sending money to. Maybe we could like boop, 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 and heal them.
yeah, I mean, the healing, I mean, they're pretty healed last time I saw them. It's their missing parts. So there's not much healing you can do there. So
This is really metagamey, but a Lich's challenge rating is a 21. So,
21, you
your
say?
volume went way out.
can you hear me a little bit better now?
Yeah, you're fine now.
So what does that mean?
It means that challenge rating is like theoretical. It's not always accurate, but
They're big bads.
yeah, it means that this would be a sufficient challenge for a group of 4 20-level characters.
Oh,
So I would really hope Ben wouldn't do that to us, but
but he could.
good.
I mean, we've been doing pretty good, so maybe he throws a loop on us. Who knows?
I mean, really, it is his magic bullet, right? Like,
Yeah.
All right, so what is the plan at this point? That we try to get it now?
That we try to get the information. At least that's what I can't obviously speak for everybody. I will go with what the group decides.
Okay.
But I feel like if there's a more quick and painless way to do it, and I can do that, I'll do it.
Well,
Okay.
I have a necklace or a hair comb. I have a hair comb given to me by an ex-lover that I could trade.
Okay. So if she doesn't want that, she has told me as part of our conversation that if I go forward with certain things, that she will tell us. So I will pin her down more specifically with like, Bishop better tell me everything I want to know. You don't play these games of, well, it was a bit in a piece. Like, no, I want everything. Don't play fucking games with me. And if she's not willing to do that for a hair comb, I know I have that ace in the hole. So
Okay.
let's save all our lives.
Possibly everybody else's.
Out of game, Ian, did you see the rejuvenation spell and the relation to the phylactery?
Yeah. It's number of days, which I feel like that should have already happened.
Well, so maybe it's only 2 days away.
Right?
Yeah, it could happen. But to destroy a phylactery, I believe, is a 9th level dispel magic, so you'd have to find a very powerful wizard and very quickly.
Yeah, so we might need all the time we can get. We might not have time to go the route of gathering intel, via a library heist, as much as that would be fun. And I'm sure Chris would be like, why the fuck not? Why aren't we, like doing it that way? Yeah, I'd feel better doing it, like getting the information if we can.
All right, well, we can try and still find more while we're in the library, because, I mean, that doesn't hurt learning
Sure.
more about liches while we're there, but...
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get to that at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is everybody on board if we're going to see if she'll take it for the comb? And if not, then I will do what I have to do.
Sounds
Sure,
good.
let's do that.
All right. Are you guys okay if I tell him to come back?
Yeah.
Yep.
I sent that text. This is hilarious. He's probably out there like, these fucking guys. I can't wait.
Come on.
The players
Which
kicked me
phone's
out of the
here? I
fucking
should look at
room.
him. His phone just buzzed on my foot. I'll be right back. Oh.
No. Go for it though.
Dude. We do not want to encounter a lich in its own lair.
Yeah, they're fucked up.
Ben's back. Did you say, do we have hot sauce? I mean, we have sriracha and some other things, but not like Tabasco. Howdy.
Hi.
Sounds like you guys had quite the discussion. I was outside for a while.
Yep.
Where's Ian?
He's grabbing something to eat really quick. I think his stomach's a little upset. Sorry.
Riley's doing the same thing.
I'm fucking with my wax seal kit because why not?
You have a wax seal kit?
I have lots of stuff for my wax seal kit. And also ink pens, like quill ink pens. And I bought a lot of letter writing stuff because I thought it would be fun to do.
That's fun. You know, you get yourself a jar of lemon juice, and you could write secret messages.
Oh my god, I'm going to send all of you guys just random letters with secret messages on them for shits and giggles.
Yeah, we'll have to hold them over an open flame so we can see the secret messages.
You just reminded me. Have you ever heard of the lemon juice thief?
No? Sounds like a bad book.
So he didn't steal lemon juice. He thought that because lemon juice is used in invisible ink, that if he put it on his face, the cameras couldn't see him. So he tried. He poured a bunch of lemon juice on his face, tried to go for a bank heist, and smiled at the cameras, and he was ridiculously perplexed as how they figured out it was him.
Wow.
And that's actually the origins of the Dunning-Kruger effect. That's where it was originally came from.
That is hilariously dumb. Also, little known hack for D&D, if you slather yourself in lemon juice, you can't get scryed on.
I feel like that's a lie.
Gorgon's blood or lemon juice.
I mean, here we wait a little bit. It's still pretty early.
With a short touch on the
Well, I mean, it depends. All right, so getting back into it. What are we doing? I'm at a loss because I was outside.
The party re-enters Madame Yuri's hut.
Oh, I feel like I was just sitting for a great long period of time. Oh, greetings, child. I know where you sleep, Evelyn.
No, Jesus Christ.
Can confirm.
So we're going to offer you, I don't have many secrets left I can give up. But I was wondering if I could trade you this hair comb, which is the only artifact I have left of basically anyone living that cares about me.
That is valuable. And what do you wish in exchange for this?
Everything you know about Fleur's little woodblock friend.
Sentimentality. Sentimentality is powerful. What more is there to offer? Just so that Madame Yuri knows.
I'll give you her memory.
Moira, I can't. I have something I have to tell you all anyway. No, Madame Yuri, you made me an offer. I hold you to that offer. I want to know everything that you know or think you might know about that lich. I want you to answer the questions I put forth when I ask them and not demand further payment, because you know what I carry is valuable. You made me this deal. You offered this.
Yes.
I will make good on my part of that, but that is off the table. She keeps that.
The memory?
The memory and the hair comb.
And the hair comb. Very well.
So, you know it. And I will tell them.
Very well.
You tell us first. Otherwise, we could always take our chances in the library.
This is true.
And you have a certain book you're looking for from us?
I am.
You really want that book, don't you, Madame Yuri?
So fucking horny for it, and I hate it.
I'm just really into the characters, you know? Like, they're so well-rounded.
Come on, Madame Yuri. You know why you want that book. We know why you want that book. We can make that happen for you. It must get so lonely here in your hut all alone.
It was written by Eldritch Lord James himself. E.L. James.
I fucking knew I fucking hate you so much. Fuck you.
Sorry, I just pulled that one out of my ass.
Madame Yuri, we're not here to yuck your yum. We can help you get the things you seek. But you have to help us, because if you do not give us this information, what if we are all destroyed by this lich before we have a chance to get you the thing you so desperately seek?
Sidebar. How much did you actually reveal to Madame Yuri? I'm trying to remember. Did you reveal anything to Madame Yuri?
I think I did. As payment for
the secrets about Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And specifically how it tied to like your.
I don't know that I went. No,
yeah, I think you're not like you're like.
I don't know that I gave the full.
Okay.
Okay.
This is what Madame Yuri shall offer in exchange for a sharing. Madame Yuri will tell you two things. First, the name of the being who is the holder of the phylactery. And second, from where the being hails. And I believe that given this particular amount of information, certain things will become rather clear.
But Madame Yuri, a phylactery nurtures the spirit, does it not? To the point that it may grow strong enough to hurt our friend Fleur and potentially us.
Perhaps.
Jesus Christ.
It seems that Fleur has a rather good friendship with the being known as Zarthesius. A being of great power, ancient as time, and horribly devilish. Excuse my language. Not devilish, but very much ambitious. What I can also tell you is that this being, its body, as well as the place in which it has reigned for a great time. He is known as the Shard. Now, I suppose if I needed to make it more clear, I would need one more payment. This is your choice.
I have told you what I am prepared to give for everything you know or suspect.
Oh, what I know. I've already given you what I
How much time do we have, Madam Yuri?
know. Oh, you can take all the time you need.
No. How much time do we have before Zarthesius, you said,
Yes.
grows strong enough to move from that phylactery to Fleur?
See, this is the curious question. Zarthesius. Nira, lady, you are a tricky one. Have you all noticed what she's done? She has forced old Madame Yuri to give up more than she meant to. Very well. Be on with it. I like you all. Zarthesius cannot take over. He who guards the phylactery. However, Zarthesius, well, I actually don't know, to be honest, why Fleur has the phylactery. I'm not positive on that. What I do know is that Zarthesius was not a man. Zarthesius was not an elf, nor a giant, nor dwarf. Perhaps you all have concluded who Zarthesius was? Perhaps his tongue? Zarthesius was a powerful white dragon.
The book.
Powerful dragon in times long past who encountered some people who sought to destroy him, and they were rather efficient at doing so. However, they did not account for the fact that Zarthesius, beyond all things, was wise. Most dragons hoard gold and shiny things. However, Zarthesius understood that the true power behind the world, the power behind magic, the thing that is more valuable than gold or diamonds or platinum, are souls. A soul is most valuable above all other things, and Zarthesius sought to make a hoard of them. Therefore, in an effort to do so, he sought out a very powerful necromancer. Perhaps some of you have heard of him. He's rather infamous. Ragnar One Hand. Erdan, at the mention of that name, Titus the Flying Dagger starts pointing wildly in different directions, and you hear his voice in your head saying, "Oh fuck, that rings a bell. Shit. Why does that ring a bell? Shit, Ragnar One Hand. Fuck. Ragnar One Hand was sought out by Zarthesius in order to perform the ritual whereby when his body died, his soul would be bound to a phylactery. In doing so, he could live on indefinitely and become what is known, well, it is a lich of sorts, a draconic lich, a Draco lich, if you will. And therein bound the phylactery. That is a very, very interesting little item. Seriously, I would damn near trade my entire hut for that particular item. I'm not sure about that yet. Although it wouldn't do you much good. Without me, the hut doesn't do shit. Anyway, when Zarthesius was sought out by this party and was slain, his soul was broken. Zarthesius was wise above all things. Most white dragons are feral, primal beasts, much less intelligent than their green or black cousins. But Zarthesius was born with a wisdom beyond all, and he sought to bind his spirit, from what I've heard, to multiple phylacteries.
Oh my god.
The goddamn Horcrux hunt.
To be fair, when I came up with this idea, it had fuck all to do with J.K. Rowling. Anyway, I have to be honest. I do not know exactly how many, but what I will say is that one of them is on that man's belt. And more might be discussed. I don't know. I'm being honest. I don't know. But I have a hunch. I have a hunch, but I think it only fair that I allow you to try and come to the conclusion first.
Madam Yuri, you said that it would not attack the guardian of the phylactery.
That is straight up what he said to me. That he called Fleur the guardian of the artifact.
Correct. But could a lich then try to inhabit another of the party? Somebody in close proximity?
A lich could attempt to possess a humanoid figure. A Draco lich would never demean itself to take on a mortal form. To my understanding, they cannot take the form of anything that is not reptilian.
Unless somebody happened to have a certain dragon aspect to them.
I suppose that's possible. Near the other little lane.
God damn it, Madam Yuri.
What this now? What going on now?
Your mom makes real good pork tacos.
What?
And that is what Madame Yuri knows of the legend of Zarthesius.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Do.
Oh, shit, it was really something.
Now, if You wish to part with that phylactery. Please, name your price. Fleur is speaking to no one.
I, I mean, I do that a lot, speaking to no one, or John, or Zarth. Zarth.
John Zarth.
We'll call him Zart.
By the way, Fleur, side note, as this is happening, and as you are consulting as you were just holding it in your hand, the voice is yelling like, "Do not listen to this vile witch. You are my champion. She is deceiving you. You are a beacon of light and hope in this world. Like, she is leading you down a wrong path. Do not part with me. I will protect you. I will guide you, as I always have. If not for me, you would have died in the sea."
Yeah, I mean, I'm holding on. I mean, he gives me good enough advice. I think he's safe enough. Just looking over the faces of my friends here, I think we're all good, right? Good. No, mostly frowns. Okay, there's another head shake. We're good.
Well, fair enough. It is yours. I will not take it from you. I have asked for what I want, which is the Paladin Sword by Eldritch Lord James.
Okay. Well,
Now, I believe that there was another end of a bargain that needed to be upheld.
Well, Madam Yuri, you remember, technically you said, I will offer these things. I never said that your two things were acceptable to me as payment. But
Messing with a witch.
But in that vein, I will not do any shady dealings with you. I will not find that technicality and rip the throat out of it. I will honor what you and I had agreed to.
This is exceedingly wise, Mirabel.
Yeah.
Those who cheat me do not breathe.
Well, it wouldn't be a cheat if I hadn't agreed to it, now would it?
You asked for everything that I know, and I genuinely told you everything that I know.
You did.
I even told you some things that I suspect. I dare not speak other things in case I am wrong.
And I will honor our bargain and do what needs to be done with this. And we will do our best to bring you back the book that you so desperately need. It is always a pleasure to do business with you, Madam Yuri.
To be clear, a contract has been bound between you and I.
Correct.
A binding of words. If you do not hold up your end of the bargain, you will not draw breath the next time we meet. And I will know. Madam Yuri knows many things.
You do. And it is not my intent to cheat you or to make this any more difficult than it has to be. I am prepared to do what must be done. I was prepared when we began this transaction.
Very well.
You have the product, I have the currency, and that is the way of the world. I honor that.
In the many, many years that Madam Yuri has been conducting business, Madam Yuri has never, ever given product before reciprocation of payment. Bear that in mind, Mirabel Thrain.
You ain't never had a friend like me.
Now be gone with all of you. I grow weary.
Guess that's why you go marry me. What?
Full on, when she says, "Be gone with all of you, I grow weary," you are blown out of the shop and the door is slammed in front of you. And the sign that says, "Please knock," changes to "fuck off." Like the words re-scramble and it becomes "fuck off." It doesn't get up and walk away, but very clearly she was rattled by someone attempting to be smooth talker. Because Madame Yuri is all about balance and fair payment. Jameson's over at the cart and he's like, Gander and Tup Tup are still asleep. Gander and Tup Tup are still asleep. Shall we on or what?
Just a sec, Jameson. I have something I have to do first. So, that being said, my apologies if that was uncomfortable for anybody. It is not usually my way to be so bold or be so cunning, but this was information that we desperately needed. And this is information that shed light for me in particular that I did not even realize was particularly possible. So I had wanted to tell you all these things in the fullness of time, but, well, life does not work the way we anticipate, does it? So I now find myself being far more open with you than I had ever, planned to be. Again, my way is to keep things pretty tightly bound, and for good reason. So what I must tell you all as payment for the information we now have, I'm sure you all remember me nearly killing Gander with my ice blast. And that has a cause, that has a reason. So it has been my way to be more of a loner, but we find ourselves partying together, right? We find ourselves going on this adventure that none of us quite planned for, and in the interest of fairness and transparency, I feel it is only right if you know exactly who it is you travel with and what I bear. So, many years ago, before any of us were thought of, a dragon to the north of Iltha Lane, an ice dragon of the Shard, a white dragon, made frequent use of my homeland as his hunting grounds. And this was at a time when Bodos was, torn by war, right? So the elves to the south didn't care that us elves to the north were being picked off one by one, towns decimated, families rent apart, children orphaned. And my ancestors, but I claim we because it has been the struggle. I'll get to that. We decided no more and that we were going to take matters into our own hands. So a very many greats grandfather of mine decided to take a party and slay this dragon to save our people. And he was the only one who came back. But he didn't come back the way he had gone. And he was told that the reason he was coming back was to bear witness to the consequence of what happens when you tread where you have no business treading. And to ensure that that lesson was taught and never forgotten. He was not the only one to bear the weight of that consequence. So every few generations, when the memories begin to fade, one of his line is altered as a reminder. And it just so happened, when I was young, a merchant traveler visited Elfa Lane, and with him was a young boy. A boy that he was incredibly cruel to, a boy that he treated no better than the dog who traveled with them. And my memories of it are dim, but I remember the sound that the flat of his hand made when he struck the boy in front of me. And I remember coming back to myself and seeing his body. I am told that an ice blast similar to what you all have seen came from me that day. Prior to that day, I did not have the white mark that I now bear. But that curse decided to make itself known in me. So my family decided that I was a danger to the tribe, which, in all fairness, I am. I was. And since that day, I have spent my life seeking knowledge, trying to learn and become the best that I can be, trying to find the secrets that may give me an advantage in the battle that is my destiny. I will go to the shard where my ancestor has gone before, and I will free my line from this curse, or I will die in the attempt. So, now you all know why it is that I damn near killed Gander. It is not a thing that I have learned to fully control, though that is a goal I have. That is part of what I seek. And that is my ultimate goal in this world. So if you decide that you do not want me to be a part of this group any longer, I will, again, respect that decision and fully understand why you would make that choice. It is not my goal to endanger anybody, but now you have the fullness of information with which to make these decisions, and our debt to Madame Yuri is paid in full.
Well, thank you for your honesty. You can't be intrinsically more dangerous than somebody who can explode in a fireball, nearly killing me. So if we had to kick you out, we'd also have to kick Moira out of this merry band of people and creatures. Of AA. We have to kick you out of AA.
Out of AA.
And me and Zart, too.
And you and Zart, yes.
Given that Czar is the being that created the curse that you bear, do you feel that you can get along with Fleur as the guardian of that thing?
Well, the point Madame Yuri made was that it could not inhabit Fleur though it could inhabit some other who may or may not have some dragonborn issues. So I really don't want to die because of Fleur's wood. I just don't. So if we could handle that before it decides to go for the nearest dragon related thing, that'd be swell. But I know Fleur himself doesn't. I mean, I would hope if Fleur had issue with me as a being that he would speak his truth, but I understand that he is not Zarthesius. He is not the phylactery. So if he can see me and not the curse I bear, then I think we can easily coexist.
Yeah, I think we're cool. I mean, you finally grew your pair of balls there, trying to trick out that crazy lady in there. I mean, that was not the smart. Yeah, like me and Zart both agree that was probably not a good idea. But yeah, I think we're good.
What does Zarth
And
have to say about this?
if it comes down to it, and he inhabits you, I mean, I've died before. I think it's not that bad.
Please try to bring me back then. That's all I ask. Like,
If-
don't let me go to the grave without having avenged my ancestors. Fuck, man. Like,
Yeah, we'll take care of that too. Yeah.
We have clerics that have joined us for whatever set of reasons. Might take all of the party's gold, but we would resurrect you.
I've got like 200 some left. You're all welcome to it. Please take it.
Is there some kind of amulet that you could wear or something you could like have that would protect you from having the lich inhabit you?
If such a thing exists, I am glad to know of it and will very gladly employ it.
Hey, Erdan, you're the smart one. Did you read about that anywhere?
Can Tup make that shit?
I don't know if Tup can make that.
I don't believe so, and if you could, not anytime soon.
Okay. Well, so do we have an anti-lich amulet?
We could probably. I don't know.
Could I possibly roll to see if I would know of any type of magic that could protect against a lich inhabiting a body?
You may roll, but I'm going to warn you now, the DC for this particular check is going to be relatively high. You didn't get very far in old magic school, and this is dealing with some very fucking heavy magic shit.
I die.
24.
Tell him the things.
I would think it'd be very fair if the DC was like 30 or 25 was what I had in mind.
This is what I will give you with that. This is definitely above Erdan's pay grade. However, if you were to seek out your former masters, your former headmasters, they may be able to grant you more information. Also, you can ask around or you can seek knowledge in the greatest library in the world, which is a place that you are all headed anyway. These are things that you can attempt to seek. But to your knowledge, you don't know. You don't know if that is a thing that can be made or has been made. But you think if anyone knows, it's the Archwizards.
I mean, maybe Madame Yuri if we didn't get kicked out.
Well, we're going back. If we come back with her smut book, I'm sure she'll let us back in and be happy to answer some shit.
I think she likes a little bit of a challenge. I think she'll forgive me.
Fleur, question for you. Where do you put the artifact when you are not actively holding it?
I mean, I was envisioning, kind of me wearing a kilt, and instead of like that little bag thingy, it's in the front. And
You literally hang your wood in front of your wood?
I mean, that was my thoughts.
Jesus
after
fucking
learning
Christ,
it's
my
a-
guy.
I mean, after learning it's a lich, I mean, I'm more inclined to put it like in like my back pocket or something.
Yeah, you don't want to have a litchy dick.
Ew.
So does this thing know about me? Because I didn't listen to it.
Well, Fleur, where is it right now?
It's, back where I normally put it afterwards.
Okay. Let me ask you a question, and it is completely up to you. Are you going to touch it?
I mean, obviously, yeah. I listen to it frequently.
Okay.
I mean, while you were outside, I was talking to it and gave them some information that they have not given you yet.
Interesting.
Or
Interesting. Okay. The thing about that's confusing is that I need to know what Xerthesius knows, because I am the DM. I am literally him. However, because I literally just saw your hand on that item, as Fleur's fingers touch the relic, you are hearing in your head, greatest champion, guardian, wonderful champion. You have been deceived. You have been deceived. They speak lies. They speak lies to you, Fleur. But it is not their fault. They have been led astray by the witch. They do not know. And your sweet dear elven friend has been led astray by untold generations of lies from her people. They have made secrets. They have told her lies. She is somehow blessed. I do not know how. She is somehow blessed.
Yeah, that's what I told them.
I'm finna die.
You should make sure that she is well taken care of and safe, because she is clearly blessed.
Yeah, I agree. We're good with that.
You guys, I'm gonna get killed as a ritual sacrifice. I'm gonna get thrown into the goddamn volcano.
Okay. You want me to tell you what I told them earlier?
Well, again, if it was something that Xerthesius told you, I would need to know.
Okay. So I told them that Zart told me that, okay, the Paladin's sword is history. It's not a book, right? So like the witch that Zart is talking about is the queen that was, with the Paladin.
Yeah,
and,
no, I know what sex is.
Yeah. And then, so like, that history in that book is what we really need to know about so that we can figure out about that curse that is on you.
You fucking guys. Yeah, all right, whatever. Xerthesius told me. Sorry, I thought it was something way grander than that. I thought you were just going to be making up lore that I'd have to. I mean, I guess you are making up lore that I'm going to have to deal with. But
It's your story, right?
Like that
told me that
story is kind
of whatever.
But,
Okay.
but that makes sense with what you're going with there. I mean, And like I was already gonna, yeah, there's history needs to be, told properly because people don't know.
Do I have to kill the Horcruxes before I can kill Zarceithius?
We're
Are
not
you
killing
one of the
Zarceithius.
Horcruxes?
He's already dead.
Erdan, you rolled high enough to know what a phylactery is, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay. You would know that the way that a phylactery works, at least specifically with regular liches, Draca liches are kind of a beast unto themselves, but they work under the same kind of principle, is that when the body, the form of a lich dies, when it is destroyed, its essence returns to the phylactery. If a phylactery is destroyed, while the essence is still in the body, then the lich could create a new phylactery. The only way to ensure that a lich is destroyed permanently is to make sure that both things are destroyed before a lich can either create a new phylactery or form a new body. Those are the things that can happen. So it's kind of like you're going to have to whammy it all at once sort of deal. Also, you guys are going to have to figure out if there are multiple phylacteries, which it would be pretty unprecedented, where they are, how many there are, who holds them, what are they doing, are there others like Fleur out in the world just guarding them or whatever, right? You have no way of knowing at the time. Because legitimately, that is not what Yuri knows. What Yuri knows is related to this particular phylactery, because she is a master of secrets and shit, and she can. She's really good at a particular talent of figuring out secrets. Anywho, that is a lot of information that was just shared.
Hey.
So Jameson kind of is like, all right, so should we get going then?
Indeed, this is all very strange and revealing.
But
I mean, I've had to deal with this for as long as I can remember.
You.
You don't remember where you came from. Kind of sad.
Once again, when you touch it, you once again hear, "Blessed champion, guardian, protect yourself, protect your allies, protect noble Erdan and wise Rizwin and strong Bark and curious Moira and blessed Nira. And of course, also the party dwarf." No, he says it much better than that. And jovial Gander.
And Tup Tup.
Oh yes, and
The crafty Tup Tup.
and crafty little Tup Tup. Guard fast your allies.
What were you just talking to the?
Sounds like a plan.
You just said something about Tup Tup there, Fleur. What's going on?
I feel like you need to tell us everything this thing says now, because I'm scared.
Well, yeah, Zart was just saying that, y'all are my party and I need to make sure that we all protect ourselves.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Erdan, once again in your head, you hear the voice of Titus saying, he's still kind of like again, he's just floating around next to you, and he seems to be pointing in different directions, and you hear a voice kind of being like, was it over there? Shit. Fuck. Why am I having such a hard time remembering? I'm telling you, Erdan, that name, Ragnar One Hand. I fucking know that name. Like a lot. I know that name a lot, and I don't know why.
Well, I think that's something we're gonna have to figure out. No, you don't remember much of your life, do you?
No, I don't. Ragnar One Hand. Erdan, I believe that I'm gonna only say that you in this case can roll me a history check to see if you recall any knowledge about this particular individual.
26 and not 20 on that one.
Fuck. Okay, yeah. As he's saying it, you're like, Ragnar One Hand. Oh, wait a minute. Ragnar One Hand. Like, he is known of because he was a very powerful wizard and artificer a long time ago. He was infamous for being a crafty son bitch with what was called a invisible fortress or a hidden fortress, and he specifically dealt with a lot of necromancy and artificery. It was thought of. I mean, I fucking got to give this to you on a nat 20. It was thought of that his particular talent was for placing souls into things. Hence necromancy and artificery.
Mm-hmm. Well, Titus, I think he's the one who put you into the dagger.
Yeah, maybe. Shit. Okay. Fair enough.
So now you're talking to inanimate objects, and he's talking to inanimate objects. There's a lot of talking to inanimate objects happening right now, and I'm not super comfortable.
I talk to my bow sometimes.
Jesus Christ.
Well, hi there, Mark. It's me, your bow.
Fuck.
I'm sorry.
Is the bow's name Bo?
Yeah, it's me, Bo. And when you bend it back, it's Bo Bridges. That's my name. Anyway, so Jameson motions for you guys to get on the cart. He's like, we're starting to lose the light, and I'd very much like to get back to Leilani before dark. So, do you mind if we head on into Badoja?
Sounds like a plan, man.
Yep.
All right. You guys mount up. Okay, so if it's all right with you guys, just because it's starting to get a little bit late, I think I'd like to do a bit of a, we can either end the session right now or we can do a bit of a jump. As you guys enter the Grand Palace, you know what I mean, they, you hand over your writ of passage, and the guards basically explain to you that because this is like a sealed writ of passage with honoring your guild, that you will have you can move through the tiers of the city without restriction. Like, you won't have to pay any kind of gate tolls, and they're not gonna, so long as you guys are together and have this, you're not gonna get shut down for being in like a rich part of town. You know what I mean? Jameson wants to go back to his where his the merchant's dock, where his wife works, and to rest his goods and to see his wife and to return Delilah to her mother. You guys have been tasked with going to the library. So you guys can either choose to go with Jameson, jump ahead to getting to the library, or we can end the session here. I'm open to all ideas.
I think this would be a good place to stop so that Chris doesn't miss like the adventures in the library. Like we've done a lot of like information gathering, so she doesn't really miss any of the action. I think this would be a good spot to hold off so that she can be a part of it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Seconded.
Okay. Well, as you all enter the mighty gates of Badoja, the air hits you here in the lower tier. The smell of common people and animals and foundries all blends together. This is the place where the farmers and the craftsmen and the general workers of the city reside. And for those of you who have lived in nature your entire lives, it's kind of gross. It's gross in the way that a city smells. But for those of you who are more accustomed to life in more urban areas, God, it feels great to be back in a place. And as you look up, the sunlight starts to go down and golden light sheds over the sky, reflecting shadows of a grand palace and a large sphere. And that is where we're going to end our session. Man, that is interesting. I honestly thought that this particular session wouldn't have ended about an hour's ride from where the last session ended. I got to be honest, I did not expect the Madame Yuri business to be the entire session, but hey, it was a fun one.
Yeah. Yeah.
We learned a lot.
Yeah. Rest assured, not everything. I still got some tricks up my non-existent sleeves. But you guys have just gained access to a pretty serious amount of information regarding, campaign-ish. Oh, speaking of which, where's that going? What's over there? If anyone has any specific questions, feel free to ask me. If you need clarification on anything, I'm willing to help without revealing more than I already have.
A good question would be like, did anybody else think that maybe that book about the Curse of the White Dragon might have been a good idea to look at?
Feels like it might be helpful, but we didn't see it. It didn't catch our eye.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't see it, and it's not like I know how to read. And I don't even know if I know how to read.
I mean, I told y'all everything anyway. I bought the fucking book, so we have that.
Oh,
You bought it?
I did. Yeah.
I didn't.
You were privy to that transaction.
Yeah, I know. It was my plan to tell you guys all of these things way later, but here we are.
Hey, man, I'd forced no one's hand.
So I bought the book.
Full disclosure, I would have taken the comb and the memory. That was a big offer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the comb, I would have given you the name. For the comb and the memory, I would have given you the information.
Well, thank you, Nira, for making it so I didn't have to do that.
I mean, you said it was the only person alive who still cared about you. I couldn't.
I killed everybody else.
Like, oh, I can't do that to somebody. I gotta, especially if it's something I'm gonna tell you guys anyway at some point. Like,
I feel like that completely changes Moira's psyche to like, I am an absolutely terrible person, more so than currently.
Mm-hmm.
That would not have been a good precedent.
Yeah, that would have turned her very dark very quickly.
Ah, man, what a fun sesh. Cannot wait for you guys to get up to some trouble in the city. Um, I will tell you right now, the next, I'm going to say 3 sessions at least, are going to get fucking wild. So get yourselves ready. I got some fun shit prepared for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. I'm excited to do some reconnaissance and possibly stealing something.
Mhm. Yeah, can't wait for that.
I'm really glad I chose a character that isn't stupid so that I could actually try to be clever instead of holding back.
Yeah. Well, and just with Erdan being who he is, like being clever and also being well read is a good combination, right? He thinks on his feet, but also he can be like, "Oh shit, that's right. I forgot about the like I read about that somewhere." And that's a good talent to have in a D&D party. Um,
It will definitely be interesting to see how we approach this.
yeah.
Party dwarf is just gonna knock down the door and start a party.
I mean, that is kind of her thing.
Could be a good distraction.
I was
Could
gonna
be a
say
good-
that would be a good distraction.
Yeah. I mean, again, I cannot wait for you guys to see some of the fun things that I have planned for you in the near future, including the library, including some stuff dealing with the city itself. You know, like I got some cool stuff planned ahead, and that will lead us into whatever comes next. I feel like if we're talking just like narrative structure of a story, by the like if I can nerd out for a second, so it is very clear to me that Port Daro was like a 3-act story structure with an ending that then led into this being like starting to be the first act of another story, like book 2, right? Because with Port Daro, you have act 1, you guys all come together, you get the call to action to go save Delilah. You go to save Delilah, troubles along the way, and then that leads to the meeting of Madame Yuri, in attempting to get the stuff back, and finally the defense of the town and the ending, which is the leaving of Port Daro. And then this one, like I felt like our last session was like the end chapter of part 1, and then this one, especially the fact that you ran into Madame Yuri again, being that kind of narrative plot device to kind of drip you guys some information, or in this case deluge you some information. It's like a really cool kicking off point for like book 2, act 1, or chapter 1. So I personally really like the idea of like little narrative story arcs within a grander scheme of things. I mean, obviously Dungeons and Dragons is a very open-ended sort of game, and you guys can decide to just fuck off. I'm not going to railroad you into anything. But I do like how it kind of naturally fell into a 3-act structure sort of thing with the first story arc, and I'm interested to see if you how the story progresses from this point forward.
I also really appreciated that you ended off at level 5 at that point on a mechanical that makes a whole lot of sense. Because like 1 through 5, you're a local hero.
Yeah.
When you're getting past 5, you're getting into tier 2 play. It's like you're becoming a hero maybe, or your renown grows because of your ability. So it makes sense we get into a bigger setting as well.
Yeah, I tried to do that specifically because I know that a lot of like starter pack adventures are like levels 1 through 5. You know what I mean? Like Mines of Fendelver, right? It gets you through level 5. Now I know I started you all off at level 2, but I also, you know what I mean? Like there was a lot of narrative stuff, and there were some, you know, like 2 whole sessions that were combat, and then another 2 whole sessions that were combat. You know, but yeah, I had in my mind, like, mechanically speaking, once you hit about level 5, level 6, depending on what class you're playing, it's like a whole new world kind of opens up to your character. And going forward, you know, that's kind of that second tier play, and so second story arc. What?
Like he was talking to his dog.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I talk to myself a lot. Just saying.
Yeah, Fleur just likes to talk to things that can't talk back. Or I guess he does talk back. Can I don't know if I revealed this last time, but I'd like to. If it's okay with you, Greg, for us to talk about like the planning process for Fleur, and how he came to some of those decisions.
Yeah.
Okay. So Greg came to me with the idea for a character. And I can reveal this now because of the information you guys gathered in this particular episode, session, I mean. Greg came to me with an idea for a character. He said, I want to be a barbarian that talks to himself. And that was the entire sentence that I got. And I was like, okay, bud, that's okay. I mean, that's a quirk, less than like a character motivating sort of thing. He goes, he's not just talking to himself. Everyone thinks he's talking to himself, but he's secretly talking to somebody else, like his god. And I was like, okay, all right, that's much cooler. Now you're starting to get me. And he goes, but what he doesn't know is that he's actually talking to a dragon. That was Greg's like A, B, C. And I was like, oh, fuck, I know who your character is now. Like, that is absolutely perfect. And
like I came up with like other like backstory stuff and whatnot, and then like he came back to me like, okay, what if you just don't remember? I'm like, yeah, I can go with that.
Yeah, well, like fun peek behind the curtain time. When I was doing some of the early crafting of these ideas, and again, things that I can kind of reveal now about my process, that information that has been secret to this point has been revealed. Because I've been sitting on this ship for months, guys. Oh, for months. When Greg came to me with the idea of a character that talks to a thing that is secretly the voice of a dragon, and Riley came to me with the idea of a character that had ties to a dragon from the long past, my brain immediately said, like, well, why make 2 dragons when you can make 1 dragon? But also I was like, well, how would a dragon be talking through an item unless that particular item is maybe containing part of the dragon's, and then it just like that galaxy brain meme, that it's like, oh man. And when they figured out this, I full on wasn't sure if the 2 of you were gonna like come to blows over this. I wasn't positive. Not players, characters.
Yeah.
You got my diplomacy.
No, I mean, Fleur is a lovable dude, and he's not dumb. He's just not knowledgeable. And if he listens to this thing, and this thing is saying like lies, then he may just be like, no, you guys are all wrong. You know what I mean? Like, let's go in there and beat Madame Uri until she tells us the truth, right? That would be a decision I'll warn you right now. Actually, I thought this while I was outside. I was like, oh man, what if I come in there and they're like, we all roll sneak attacks against Madame Yuri? I was going to be like, all right, I'll allow you guys to do that. I'm not going to stop you, but this is going to be a TPK. I hope you understand that.
And you die.
Like even if
Except the party dwarf who passed out
it
drunk.
wouldn't be a TPK. The next adventure would just start with Gander and Tup Tup and a bunch of dead people in a shack. Maybe she'd have to barter away so many things to get your souls back because they're like in jars on the shelves or some shit.
Wow.
I was out there like stressing, like, are they gonna try and attack Madame Yuri? Like, I know she's creepy and all, but like, look.
That's a couple more levels. We'll get there.
Mira was
Yeah.
fucking ready to try it.
Yeah. I'll be coming up in here and be like, okay, you all have hit points under 100 total. So I guess I'm gonna roll a D8 and see who she power word kills. Hang on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. That would do it.
Oh, no one has access to Revivify. Okay, that character's just gone now. Who's next?
Yeah, no death saving throws. You're just done.
Yeah, full dead. Full dead.
Is she
Um,
also a lich then?
No, I mean, not that you have noticed or assume. Madame Yuri is a fucking curiosity. She is something seemingly otherworldly. She possesses some degree of magic that, like Erdan pointed out, is almost reality bending because she can accept things that are not physical items. And like, for instance, had Moira truly and earnestly offered that memory would have faded from her mind. Like, it would be gone. It would be difficult for, like, her brain would try to be like, it would be like trying to remember something that you can't remember, right? Like the face of someone that you knew back in school, right? Like, you knew that happened, you knew that person, but God, for the life of you, you can't remember what their face looked like. Or as another, for instance, like, you could just be like, all right, I offer you my ability to speak Elven, right? And then it's like, okay, the knowledge of that language, both written and spoken, just vanishes from your mind. And it becomes something that she can trade to someone else. You know, if they're like, hey, I'd love to learn to speak Elven, but I don't have the time to, learn a language. She's like, all right, what do you have to offer me?
Mm-hmm.
She's a barterer of all things, possibly all things.
Yeah, I've got some plans later to fix some of my stats with her, but kind of figure out what I'm willing to give up first.
Yeah. I've got a question I think I might ask her in the future.
That's fair. To be understood, though, like, if you are going to try and say, like, I want to be physically or mentally stronger, you know what I mean? Like, the cost is going to be high, right? I'm not going to let you guys just min-max your characters by giving her a bunch of gold. Or be like, okay, well, I want to gain 8 levels. I'll be like, all right, you can gain 8 levels. Bring me the head of all the kings. You know what I mean? Like, we'll find a way to make it fucking impossible for you to do that.
Well,
but
through the course of doing that, you just gain 8 levels anyway, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Ta-da!
The strength is inside you all along.
Madame Yuri works in mysterious ways.
The true magic is friendship.
Give me my levels.
Just fuck you, Madame Yuri.
Power word killed, done.
Oh man, that's great. That is great. You guys are fucking right. You know that?
It's a good time. Just to clarify, that Lightbringer hand axe, that was not a finesse weapon, right?
No. Well, No, I don't believe that hand axes are considered finesse weapons. They have the light and thrown properties, which means they can be dual wielded and they can be chucked. But they still require the strength of a chopping sort of motion. If you're curious, it's an axe that you can use an action to shed light and can deal radiant damage.
Basically, the Lightbringer mace, but in hand axe form from the Fandelver Lost Mine thing.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh shit! It's not called Lightbringer. It's called.
There's a sword in Game of Thrones called Lightbringer.
This is true, there is. But
Well,
in the Lost Mine of Fandelver, there is actually a mace that is called Lightbringer, and it does 1d6 radiant damage when you use a bonus action to command it to glow.
oh fuck! I did not know that. In this case, because TM, the name of the axe is Bright Ringer, and it does the exact same thing. Oh shit! This is why a DM should not improvise fucking everything he does. Anyway, sometimes
I was like, Google.
sometimes you might straight up take other shit. Oh, that is funny. That is really funny. What are the odds that I would land on something that is like,
It occurs to me that I believe in that podcast, the three brothers and their dad, they might have had Lightbringer also.
well, to my recollection, what it is that they cast the light spell on Clint McElroy. Shit, why am I blanking on the name of the character?
Merle.
My church. They cast the light spell on his axe just to make it look impressive, but it's not really a magical weapon.
Well, they also did run their first little mini arc off of Mines of Philander.
Yeah.
And
They
then
had to change all of that information when they made their manga so that they were not copyright infringing.
Yeah. I was wondering.
Clark is no longer Clark.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, wait a minute. I know for a fact this dude's name was Gundren Rockseeker. Why is it different now?
Yeah.
And Clark is no longer Clark. And I was like really upset. I was like, I love Clark. Why are we changing it?
My favorite line is, his name is Clark.
So we were playing through that campaign as a family, and they didn't even talk to Clark. They just fucking killed him. Like, if you had talked to him, you would have found out his name was Clark.
The kids just responded like it was a video game. They were like, "Hey guys, let's go." I was like, "All right, Diablo." That's what happened.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were trying to get my attention. Yeah, the way that Griffin McElroy just took like a regular out of the box adventure and twisted it up with his own stuff, and then from there created a fully unique sort of campaign.
The fucking umbrella blows my mind.
Oh yeah, because that's planted so oh, that's right, Riley. Riley doesn't know it. That's it.
Spoilers.
That's right. You didn't reveal anything yet.
That's why I said just umbrella, because that's in like the first episode.
Because like I've literally re-listened to the entire thing 3 times, and like on the first listen through, you're like not catching it. Then on the second listen through, you're like, oh shit, that's how early this happened. So on the third listen through, you are watching the, you know what I mean? You're not remembering, you are looking for. And it's like, oh fuck, yes, that's how that connects. God damn, this is a good story.
He's so good.
And by his own admission, it's not like he had an idea of the outline, but all of the different story arcs and stuff those were come up with that, like he didn't have a plan for everything ahead of time. Which, full disclosure, is kind of what I do too.
That's what a lot of DMs do.
I had a plan of how you guys were going to meet,
and to him.
Yeah, I had a plan of how you guys were going to meet and the world that this existed in. I have plans for if we ever make it to way down in the campaign, and then the middle is going to be filled out as we come to it.
Yeah.
So apologies to Chris, who will come and read this later. If you haven't watched the Adventure Zone or listened to the Adventure Zone, please, forgive us for any.
Oh shit! Are we still recording?
Yeah.
I
can edit this out though if we need to, but I wanted to keep like your kind of breakdown of the floor planning process. I thought that was good stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. This is literally just me, and I don't know if this is like me jerking myself off. It's not meant to be. It's just like stuff that I've like been so excited to dig into with you guys. The connection between Nira and Fleur was one of the things that I was most excited to like become a thing that could be discussed. So there you have it. But that's not all the secrets I have. Ooh. Erden's got to figure shit out. Bark's got to figure shit out. Moira's got to figure shit out. The dwarves have less to figure out, but they do have some.
Yeah. And you got Tup Tup.
We'll just sacrifice Tup Tup for all the information.
The darkness that resides in the soul of Tup Tup.
We find out he's the big bad.
You'll find out that he is all the phylacteries. Each one of his body parts is a different phylactery.
He's Ragnar one hand.
Theseus. Yeah, and Ragnar one hand, all in one. They fuse together like two Saiyans in Dragon Ball Z. And
I'm just thinking about a dragon and doing that same dance.
Yeah, it's just a gigantic dragon and a dude with one hand, so it's like this.
Fusion dance with the dragon. Amazing.
So,
by the way, Erdan, I specifically did not send you the full item description for Titus the Flying Dagger because it had relevant information I did not want to necessarily reveal. But I can read it to you right now if you're curious.
Sounds good.
Oh yeah. We're wrapping up here. Where were they?
On the table.
Okay. Shit. It's still, the app's still loading. Basically, I don't know exactly the language that I used, but it was that this dagger was crafted by Ragnar One Hand to defend himself from the very many number of assassins that were sent after his infamous ass. Because he does not have a spare hand, he has a weapon that does not need a hand, specifically a flying dagger. Hence Ragnar One Hand.
Makes sense. Wonder if Titus was one of the people sent after him.
That would be curious, right? To turn your assassin into the dagger that protects you.
Yeah.
That is some metal shit right there.
I mean, somebody with murderous intent, Let's just wrap that up into a soul and throw you into a dagger so all you know to do is kill.
Yeah, okay, so this is specifically what I wrote. Created by the infamous wizard Ragnar One Hand, as a means of self-defense from assassins, this awakened dagger guards its bearer and follows their commands, if a bit begrudgingly.
Love it.
Yeah.
I have to get a nice, sheath for Titus, so he feels good about when I have to put him away.
I don't want to be in a fucking boot. Also, I just love the idea of having this magical flying dagger, glorious thing, and people hear you talking to it, and they're like, "What must this thing?" And then it's just got this like, "I'm a fucking rat from Brooklyn," like,
Okay, watch out!
Yeah.
I'm flying.
"I'm a flying fucking dagger. What do you want? Fuck you."
I'm killing you. Get out of the way.
I imagine that anytime he you command him to stab someone, he's like, "All right, fuck you," and you just hear that in your head constantly. It's a very vulgar dagger.
It's a good foil for Erdan being so prissy.
Oh, oh, Caper, and fuck you, Caper.
How dare you?
It just flies off.
Just chase after one another.
Now you see the real trick. The real trick is if you just duct tape Titus to Caper and turn him into the Megazord.
Just have Caper hold it in his mouth. Cut people, Titus.
And Titus is like, "I could already move on my own. What the fuck?"
It's so much cooler though.
You see now, if I was, oh shit, how connected to a person's soul is their familiar?
Well, for Erdan specifically, Caper was the face spirit that picked him, and they've been together for like most of Erdan's growing up, so probably better part of a century, and as his constant companion, his only real friend, if you will. So Caper, like whenever he goes away, he will specifically try to get Caper out of the Feywilds again.
Right. And Caper's just ready and raring to come back and see his old buddy.
Yeah.
I would argue that with that deep of a connection, something that is attuned to you might also be attuned to Caper. You might have to roll a super high Arcana check to be able to let your flying dagger just spin around your bird as it flies around.
Or whatever Caper decides to come back as, if Caper has to go away, because I might switch up. Caper might not come back as an owl, might come back as a cat.
Yeah, or like, hey, if you guys come to a flooded dungeon, turn motherfucker into an octopus and let him crawl through everything, right?
Yeah.
Familiars are the best.
They're pretty great, but you know, Erdan is super cautious with Caper because he doesn't, even though he knows he can get him back, he doesn't want him to get any harm to come to him.
Yeah, I've noticed that even though he would give you a straight up like mechanical advantage in combat, you don't tend to use him very often, which, like, as a DM, I'm like, hey, thanks for not abusing the system, but also, like, you were completely within your right to, I gave you those tools.
Yeah, and most likely as things get a little bit more dangerous, I would probably use him in that capacity till I get my a feature as an arcane trickster to grant advantage on attacks by using Mage Hand, which is just kind of straight up mechanically better because I don't have to worry about, you know, turn orders and help action is it dying. Right. But I'll probably use it until I get that ability. Pick and choose the battles. Now that I have the materials to bring him back, Erdan probably feels a little bit more comfortable to use them more.
That's fair. All right, guys. Well, it is 12:01, so my chemicals are starting to kick in, and I'm going to go.